Good evening. I'm Matt Barokis, co-founder and CEO of Solid Pick. This is Zach Stewart. He's also a co-founder and our chief operating officer. Together we created Solid Pick, a mobile application for sports fans to track the success of their game predictions, interact and compete against friends and fans worldwide for global recognition and prizes in a fraction of the time required by fantasy sports. So what's the problem? Fantasy sports is too time-consuming. Traditional fantasy sports offered by Yahoo and ESPN require a tremendous amount of time and commitment to get started and play. Fans need to be on top of everything, from last-minute lineup changes, suspensions, injuries, even the weather. Daily fantasy sports on FanDuel and DraftKings require a monetary deposit in addition to all the commitment required by traditional fantasy sports, and after losing a couple of times, definitely loses its appeal. Casual sports fans are left on the bench. A second problem is that there's no accountability in predicting sports. Whether it's the paid analysts on television, the internet, or radio, or just our friends, there's no way to know how well you predict games, how you measure up against everyone else, and who the real sports experts are. Enter Solid Pick. We've distilled the complexities of fantasy sports into a single action. Swipe to pick what matters most, the winner of the actual game. This is where fantasy sports meets casual gaming. Our simple design has opened up the fantasy sports experience to fans of all kinds. For avid sports fans, Solid Pick tests the skill involved in predicting game outcomes, identifying the real sports experts. Our fans are encouraged to share videos, articles, and original content to gain followers and become an influencer. Within that @ button in between the two logos, relevant game content from people you follow appears. Together, our platform serves both avid and casual sports fans.
So what's the market size and opportunity? Fantasy sports in the United States is a $15 billion industry that is growing at a steady rate of 10%. Now that growth rate can largely be attributed to fantasy sports' recent shift to mobile applications. And as more and more people turn to mobile, advertisers are following suit. In 2016, a $25 billion opportunity exists in mobile advertising. And this is tremendous for us. Yet, as big as those numbers are, it could be far, far bigger than that. Currently, 70% of sports fans in the United States do not play fantasy sports. So we designed Solid Pick to open up fantasy sports to everyone. In light of those statistics, Solid Pick has chosen a freemium model. For each contest, we will solicit a sponsor to brand our leaderboards and provide a prize to the winner of the contest. And while Solid Pick is free to play, we also offer several in-app purchases. We offer private pools with customizable scoring systems so you and your friend can compete in a private playground of your own for the day or for the season. And for those pools, we will charge a fee to create the pool and a fee per participant. Also, once we have enough data to determine who the top predictor is in any given sport, division, league, or team, we will be able to crowdsource those predictions and enable sports gamblers to obtain a reliable pick every time for a fee. Down the road, we can license user data to the third parties, such as the media and sportsbooks. The underlying magic of Solid Pick is that we've gamified fantasy sports in creating a platform that's simple, social, and casual. No longer must you spend countless hours researching and managing a completely fictional roster in order to prove yourself to the 10 people you play with. Solid Pick takes the fantasy out of fantasy sports and lets you prove to not only your friends, but the world that you're the best at predicting real game outcomes.
Our unique customer acquisition strategy for gaining early traction in anticipation of our launch is to go campus to campus, stadium to stadium, beginning here in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium and continuing throughout the Southeast at each of the universities in the Southeastern Conference. We'll drive traffic to our website, solidpick.com, through inbound content marketing and through social media using our Twitter and Instagram handle @SolidPick. But through at-event marketing and stadium promotions, we're going to ultimately pit the top pickers at each of these schools against one another to determine the Solid Pick champion of the SEC.
And as Matt talked about earlier, there's two kinds of fantasy sports. There's the daily option and the season-long option. The daily option requires you to deposit money, while the season option requires you to spend time. And both require a tremendous amount of effort in order to win. While Solid Pick lets you play for free on your own time. And unlike any other platform, we have a large-scale social component that allows users to follow and challenge one another. So Solid Pick will ultimately become the social network for sports fans to interact with one another. And given our initial rollout strategy, we expect to see 100,000 users generating $500,000 in revenue by year 1. By year 2, we have fully implemented all of SolidPick's features and anticipate the growth to sustain and trend upwards so that by year 3, we hit 1.5 million total users generating $15 million in revenue.
This is our timeline. We graduated MediaWorks today. We'll launch our private beta around NBA basketball season, complete our fundraising at the end of this year, launch our public beta in time for NCAA bowl season, and ultimately launch Solid Pick with all of its features in the Google Play and App Store in time for March Madness in March of 2016. And this is the team that's going to bring it to you. I'm Matt Barocas. I'm an attorney in private practice, admitted to practice law in both New York and Tennessee. I have 5 years' experience in business transactions and litigation. In college, I interned at 790 The Ticket. It's a sports radio station. In law school, I interned for Sports Stars in New York City. Zach is a college student studying business analytics, but he has an impressive background in finance as a stock and Bitcoin trader.
Yes, Bitcoins.
And our lead advisor, Louis Frazier, who brings 30 years experience in accounting, finance, software, engineering, and technology. He's here today. Thank you, Louis. We're seeking an investment of $500,000 in seed capital to continue the development of our software for both iOS and Android, implement our customer acquisition strategy, and license the official logos of all of the NBA, NHL, NFL, NCAA, and Major League Baseball logos. Again, we're Solid Pick. We're really excited about our company. Please come see us after. If you would be so kind, please log on to solidpick.com, enter your email address for updates. Big thanks to Jim Biggs, Jonathan Sexton, everyone at KEC. We're really excited about this, and we hope you'll come talk to us. That's where we can be reached. Thanks again.
Give it up for Solid Pick.